All right, so we're going to look at the starred review problems first, because these are the ones I suspect you might have some trouble on. So let's take a look at number 6. A is between y and z, ya equals 22, az equals 16x, and yz equals 166. Find az. Blah. This is all alphabet soup, okay? So we need to draw a picture here. So we know A is between Y and Z. So here's A, here's Y and Z. Let's label this. YA is 22, AZ is 16X, YZ is 166. So we can add these up to 166. Okay? These add up to 166. Now what we don't want to do, we don't want to say, oh, well, these are equal. That would be true if this was a midpoint, but we don't know that. So, all right, and then we just solve for x. So again, the hardest part of this, you just need to draw that picture, okay? So that this actually makes sense to you. Let's jump down to 9. So I want to find the distance between Q and P. So that should just be one number. This is really hard to do diagonally, though. What I can do, though, I can come up with this distance right here and come up with this distance right here. And this is a right triangle. So since this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, I can just do Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So again, I like to rewrite it like this. All right, so 3 squared plus 4 squared, 9 plus 16, square root of 25, which in this case is 5. Hopefully you already noticed 3, 4, 5, but so to find two-dimensional distance, use Pythagorean theorem. All right. Fiona jogs every morning on a track that can be represented as a straight line. Her starting coordinate is -2, 5, and the finishing coordinate is 4, -5. What are the coordinates of the point where Fiona has run half the distance? Okay, so this is a fancy way of saying, what's the midpoint? I want to know where she is when she's gone half the distance on this line. That's what a midpoint is. Okay, so I've got my points. I've got -2, 5. I've got 4, -5. You absolutely could do a graph here if you wanted, but you don't really need to. Remember, to find a midpoint, you just do the average. You add them up, you divide by 2. So -2 and 4, add them up, divide by 2. So that's going to be that's going to be the x part of our coordinate. So we did the average x is 1. And then we're going to do the average y. Okay. And whenever you do a problem like this, you really should just do a real quick sketch to make sure that you're not just being crazy. So let's just do a real quick sketch here. -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're saying it's 1, 0. That seems to make sense. All right, let's move on. Okay, so we've got this diagram up here. We want to know what the measure of EBF is. Okay? Well, let's think of what we know here. Okay, EBF. This is a right angle right here. We know that because we've got our little 90-degree symbol right here. So that means these are complementary. That means if this is 50, this should be 40. So remember, EBF, you can just follow the letters, and that'll tell you which angle we're talking about. EBF. So we're looking for that angle right there. All right. Which pair of angles are vertical angles? Okay, so vertical angles, if you've forgotten, it's like these guys right here. Or maybe these guys right here. Okay, so these angles or these angles. So over here, for example, this guy and this guy would not be. Yes, this is a straight line, but that isn't. So our only vertical angles on here are this one and this one. See how this is a straight line? This is a straight line. And these are the angles kind of on the opposite side here. So something along the lines of angle RSX and angle TSU. All right, now it wants you to find the values of X and Y. So to find the values of X and Y, we go, okay, is there anything that tells us these are equal? No, we don't know anything that makes those equal. It's not like this is getting bisected. But these two guys, we know that this is 90. So these guys have to be complementary. So we can make the statement right here. 5x plus 4x, they have to add up to 90 degrees. Okay, so that was that relationship there. Okay, now we need to find y. Okay, well, we've got this angle right here. We've got this angle right here. We actually know it now. 5 times 10 is 50. This guy's 40. Well, we got to think, what's the relationship between these two guys? Well, are they equal? No. These two guys together make a line. They're a linear pair. And what do we know about this line? This line adds up to 180. So these two angles here, when I add them up, should equal 180. Okay, so combine, subtract on both sides, and then divide. Let's take a look at the logic stuff.